I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL, thanks for joining me. Here are my 5 best fragrance buys of 2021 so far. Stay tuned. With shops open for business, we can finally get back to the Frag store. Someone should really put that on a t-shirt. So I like to do these Best Buy videos once every few months just to keep you in the loop with the best scents I've been smelling and to give you a good idea of what you can go out there and try now that you can actually go out there and try them. I've put together a selection of 5 of the best fragrances I've bought so far this year so you can have the best chance of getting back out there and reminding the world just how good you like to smell. The first fragrance I'd like to recommend to you is one that actually came out at the back end of 2020, but for me, this was a purchase this year from by Kilian. It's Angel Share. This is a very sweet, very rich cognac fragrance, very sexy, very indulgent. You've got that gorgeous boozy quality from the cognac and there's a little hint of orange. This actually works really well in the cooler weather, but it's spring as I'm filming this video here in the UK. We're actually having a bit of a cold snap. It's very cool, very wintry out there, so this would actually work really well even on spring days like this. It's such a high quality fragrance that for me this works really well for those nice evenings. Maybe you're going out for dinner, maybe it's a date night, maybe it's a special occasion. It's a little too rich and heavy for hot days. You wouldn't want to be wearing this in the height of summer when it's really hot, but when things are a little cooler, Angel Share is incredible. It's actually the most expensive fragrance on this list. It's the only niche fragrance. All the rest coming up are designer. So this retails at £165 for 50ml. Yes, that's a lot of money, but for me, I think it's a worthy investment. It's just so difficult to put a price on a fragrance that makes you smell and feel so good. So for me personally, this is worth every penny. Next up is a new interpretation on the much loved release from Armani. This one is Armani Code Eau de Parfum. This takes that Armani Code DNA that we know and love and just modernises it a little bit. I still think Armani Code is a great fragrance. I really enjoy wearing it, but it just seems to get thrown in with those fragrances that maybe are a little dated. I don't think it is dated. I think it's just people are used to the smell, and it's often talked about as one of those fragrances that is quite safe and good for the office. I think that's a little bit unfair on it, but what Armani wanted to do with Code EDP is just add to that. So they've made it richer, creamier, sexier. I think it's more attention grabbing than the original Code, maybe better for a night out or an evening scent, but it's still got that nice clean powdery quality that Code has. So I've been wearing this now for a few weeks and I've really been enjoying it, which is why I want to recommend it to you. It's super wearable, very versatile, quite youthful, but still manages to come across as quite refined. You can't really go wrong with the Armani Code DNA, so if you enjoy that and you also like vanilla, I think you'll really enjoy this one. Very mass appealing, so if compliments are your thing, you will probably find what you're looking for with Armani Code EDP. If you like to smell fresh, clean, and very well put together, you might enjoy the latest release from Hermes H24. This has a really nice, clean, comforting smell to it that makes me think of freshly laundered, freshly ironed clothes. So it's clean, it's fresh, it's floral, but then there's also a really intriguing metallic edge to this, which gives it a very contemporary feel. So it's not a very complicated fragrance, it keeps it simple. It's one of those scents that would work great in the office, but whenever I mention that, it always occurs to me that I don't actually work in an office. So those types of fragrances I often think are good for traveling. So, you know, maybe when you're getting on a plane or you're in close proximity to strangers. So it's safe, but certainly not boring. If you like scents that smell great but don't overcomplicate things, then I think you'd like this. I'm really looking forward to wearing this a lot through the spring and the summer, maybe even for some traveling too. Next up is the latest Spicebomb release from Viktor and Rolf, Infrared. I'm so happy with this release because the previous two Spicebomb releases, the two night visions, moved so far away from the Spicebomb smell that they could have just been completely different fragrances. They didn't really have much of a connection. Well, with Infrared, that lovely Spicebomb DNA is back. It's not quite as peppery as the original, it's sweeter, it's more rounded, it's more sensual, but you still get that connection to that Spicebomb smell. Definitely a crowd pleaser. I think the sweetness in this may make it even more mass appealing than the original Spicebomb. So it's fun and energetic, but it also has this smooth and sensual depth. This is going to be a great evening scent, great night out scent, date night scent, and I think it's going to be a bit of a compliment puller. The last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is a super classy scent that I'm going to be drowning myself in this summer. From Tom Ford, it's Costa Azzurra. This is a summer scent that packs some great depth and power. And unlike a lot of fresher, summery fragrances, this is not centered around citrus. So it doesn't have that invigorating citrus quality. But what it does have is this beautiful marine, aquatic, oceanic feel. There's some salty sea air, some assertive herbal accords, mysterious incense. I think that this is just one seriously classy fragrance that is just packed full of gravitas. One of the great things about this fragrance is it's done that Tom Ford thing where it was a fragrance in the more expensive private blend, but they discontinued it there and it's now trickled down into the cheaper signature line. So you can have the same smell that used to be much more expensive. I think this is an extremely well put together fragrance and it will really suit people who want to go out there and come across as assured and confident. Okay, there you go. Those were my 5 best pickups so far this year. I'm looking forward to doing another one of these videos in a few months. Let me know what your best pickups have been so far, because if I haven't tried them, then I always like to try and get my nose on recommendations that you guys give me. And also let me know what you think of the fragrances that I've talked about in this video. Have you bought them as well? Do they work for you as well as they do for me? I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM, keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next one.